Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today's video is what if Naruto had the omnitrix? And yes, today is what if Sunday. Well, I'm recording this on a Saturday, but today is what if Sunday. So I'm sorry I'm be missing a lot of what if Sundays. I promise I'll make it up to you by making a 3-day what if sprig. So today. So today there at this time around the time this around 2 hours later there'll be another what if, and then around 3 hours later, around around whatever that time is, if it's close to 5 or it's past 5, it will be either 7 or 8 or 5. And let's get into the main juicy part of the what if. By the way, this is Virashiki, Aratsuki, Virashiki, and he is Urashiki's twin brother. But he has longer hair, and his clothes are a little different, and he has the same exact powers, but he is more skilled than his brother. And he also was the original user of the Omnitrix before he decided to give it to Kaguya, because Kaguya wasn't really a traitor back then. And I also want to make a short retcon. Instead of having 1 hour and something left minutes, there's actually a few months, because that's the time around Urashiki would get there. Over this time, Naruto and meet Jiraiya and learn the Rasengan. Missing a hand, he would not be, because since they don't have Hashirama cells, well, they would have Hashirama cells around this time, but the third Hokage wouldn't really be interested in giving Naruto Hashirama cells since he's not really a doctor, so they decided to send Naruto for Tsunade. Naruto eventually learns how to use Shadow Clone Jutsu to make a Rasengan with 2 Shadow Clones to use 2 hands, basically, to make a Rasengan, and he perfects it. Naruto knows how to use Shadow Clones with 1 hand, kind of like what he learned how to do in the last before he got his Hashirama infused hand. Naruto would look at Urashiki would crash into the planet 4 months before the detonation time. No, a few days after the detonation time was first announced. Urashiki would look around in an icy place somewhere in Antarctica or the frozen land. This is actually a village called the Village Hidden in Ice, and he sees that there's a lot of high power levels here, so he decides to start collecting chakra to revive the Ten Tails, or the Divine Tree, and so it goes around killing people. And oh my god. Sorry guys for that. I was watching anime Sage. Oh yeah, I was watching anime Sage, so yeah, sorry. And basically let's get straight back into it. So Virashiki would go around absorbing people's chakra and killing them in the process. Eventually he runs into I want to make a short retcon here too. This village is actually part of the Great Nations, but this village is never seen because it's so far away. But it would be called the Icy Kage, and he would try to fight and use his Kikigenkai, which is ice. He could use ice basically, and he also is the inventor of ice mirrors. He'll surround him with Virashiki with ice mirrors, but Virashiki shatters the ice mirrors with literal ease. He would grab the Icy Kage and slam him into the glass, and then ice, and then he would and then the ice would slowly get ice into his blood, and he would use his detonation ice bomb, which will surround anything in ice within a 10-mile radius. He does it anyway, even though he knows his people's going to be at risk, at least he gets rid of him. As it's happening, Virashiki would teleport in front of in the sky, and everything would get shattered in ice. He would come down and grab the Icy Kage and suck his chakra straight dry, leaving him into a skeleton, and then he'll charge up a mini green ball, which is his special Kekkei Genkai that the other Atsutsuki members call him. That's why they call him one of the strongest, and he's next in line to be Atsutsuki King. But he charges up a green magma ball, and it's like super small. It's like the size of an ant, and then he flicks it onto the land, and it destroys anything in a 1,000-mile radius. Well, not a 1,000-mile radius. He just destroys the whole entire village, the whole entire island, just the whole entire country in general. He goes to search for the next the powerfulest he can sense, but before he can do that, he realizes he got some of that ice on him, and then he gets covered in ice and falls deep into the ocean. Now we're gonna cut back a few days after that, and Naruto confronting Tsunade. Naruto would fight Tsunade and lose the same exact way, but with Tsunade feeling bad for Naruto since he has no arm, and she learns he has a special watch that allows him to turn into weird aliens, but he can't use it because it has a detonation time on it to blow up. They found out they decoded it and see that it means explosion, and it's gonna explode around the time around 6 months from now. Tsunade would be upset that a kid would have to have a burden with this omnitrix, and decides to become Hokage. Hiruzen would still be alive, because this is way before. This is after the Lana waves and before the Chunin exam. So around this time, Tsunade becomes Hokage. Tsunade gets Naruto a new arm, and Urashiki finally wakes up. But before he wakes up, Naruto wakes up with a long red streak in his hair, getting that from all the days he's had that red omnitrix. Naruto is not the only one that learns about the secret of the omnitrix. Tsunade does as well, being from an alien planet. Eventually, Urashiki would wake up around the time of the Chunin exams. He would fly to the nearest chakra he would sense, and he would sense the two tails of Jinchuriki. He would fly up to them and just kill him easily, chopping up, decapitating him, and then taking the tailed beast from him. And when he wakes, he sees the tailed beast and easily tames the tailed beast with a special nuclear release, sending it into his blood so he can manipulate it whenever he wants. He would go to the next parallel he sense, which is the 3 tails, and do the same exact thing until he all the way gets up into the 8 tails. Until he gets to the 1 tails, he sees that the 1 tails and the 9 tails are both in one place, so he decides to go for the 8 tails instead. He would go towards the 8 tails, and Killer Bee would sit there, having a little concert, and then he would go up and easily take his chakra, knocking him to the ground. Seeing how powerful Urashiki is, Verashiki is, they would sense something. He would go to sense a very high power level, and decide to go check what it is, and he would see some guy with a black robe with red clouds and with glowing purple eyes. And he would look behind him and see. He would basically look behind him and see that this is some pale person. No racism, but he would look at him and say, "Who are you?" And he says, "My name is Verashiki and Atsutsuki, and your eyes are really unique. You mind if I have them?" Pain is surprised, this is Pain. Pain would be surprised, and then before he knows it, his eyes will be ripped out, and then the renegades would eventually turn back into normal eyes. Verashiki will see this and freeze his eyes, but before he knows, he has true seeking like rods, and he'll take them and eventually does what Naruto does and sticks him into his hand, and then find out where the main path is at. He would eventually shut down Nagato, and he would see that he has renegades. He would tell him to give him the renegade, or he would force to. Nagato would refuse, and then Conan would try to attack him, but it's too late. Nagato already got his eyes ripped out, and the ghetto statue being sealed inside of him. He would seal the ghetto statue inside of him, put Conan basically hypnotize Conan, to being his slave. Kono would tell him now how Nagato used 6 dead bodies to have 6 paths of pain, and he decides to find the Jinchuriki's bodies that he killed, besides the 2 tails, because it's literally decapitated, and use them as his 6 paths of pain. He'll find the 3 tails, 4 tails, 5 tails, 6 tails, 7 tails, and 8 tails. No, he'll find basically the 3 tails, 4 tails, 5 tails, 6 tails, 7 tails, 8 tails. Yeah, he used all the way up to the 8 tails. That's his 6 paths to pain before he evades Konoha. But before he does that, he hibernates for a few years. Around this time, this is around the time where Sasuke's about to leave with the Sound 4, until Naruto tries to tell Sasuke don't leave the village instead of Sakura. Naruto and Sasuke was about to clash before a pale man, I would say white man, not racism, a pale man walks up to them and says, "Are you the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails?" Naruto would say, "Yeah, who's asking?" Before he knows it, this guy blitzes in front of him until he gets half of his arm gets sucked into a weird dimension. We would see a glowing eye, and we would see people with clouds and people with robes with clouds on them, and we'll see somebody with a sharp Mangekyo Sharingan. We would see the Akatsuki without pain, but they will not be here to capture the Jinchuriki since Naruto's right there and Gaara's somewhere, and they just need to kill him, Urashiki, and then take the tail beast from him. Urashiki will look over and see them and say, "Ugh, filth," and use a devastating Tenra Sensei. It destroys Konoha and kills almost everybody in there besides Gaara and his siblings. This guy is way too broken. Like, he is way too powerful. He has the Rinnegan. He has every tail beast besides 9 in 1 tail. He has a special Kage Genkai. And he has basically the prototype Omnitrix, but he needs the core of the Omnitrix. And he's basically that overpowered. But over these years, Naruto's hair began to get redder and redder and there's only 1 minute until 1 hour until his explosion time. And Naruto's ready for this, and he finds out how to take out. As he's fighting, as the paths of pain are fighting, and everybody else is fighting him, the guy slices at Naruto's hand and cuts out the core of the Omnitrix, which Naruto notices before Urashiki can notice. Obito sucks him into his Kamui dimension and sucks everybody else in there, and then they all fight in his Kamui dimension. Besides Naruto is still on the ground with his core of the Omnitrix and sees it's beeping, and he has 10 seconds. He has 10 minutes left until it explodes. Naruto decides to hurry up. He's waiting hurriedly because they are really about to die if he doesn't get this Omnitrix somewhere, and before Urashiki and the others come back and all of them beat up besides Urashiki. Urashiki will see Naruto has the core of the Omnitrix in his hand and grabs it and puts it in his Omnitrix. His Omnitrix begins to glow into a pinkish purple, and he says, "Yes, I am invincible. I have the power of the Omnitrix. None of you mortals." And before he says anything else, Naruto says, "Obito." Well, he says, "Hurry up! Use that weird sucky thingy." And Obito would use his Kamui and sucks him up. And then as he's getting sucked up, you start to see a light shine through his eyes and mouth. Before he does that, we hear him scream, and then nothing. 10 seconds after that, Obito would basically goes into his Kamui, sends everybody into his Kamui dimension, and then he finds out that Urashiki completely obliterated his Kamui dimension, destroying everything. That's how powerful the Omnitrix is. it would have destroyed the whole. It would destroyed the whole entire Earth if that exploded. He would see the Omnitrix core shining, and then he would grab it and then teleport and give it to Naruto. Obito notices this is a bad idea, but he gives it to Naruto, even though he would know that he can't proceed with his plan, and so the tail beasts get get reborn and get revived. Word will get traveled through the universe that Urashiki was murdered. Well, the Omnitrix will report a detonation and the person that it killed, and it'll say Urashiki. And the Atsutsuki King will punch his wall and decide to be there in around 25 years. That he will be there himself to personally kill this Naruto. I'm sorry that I had to say Naruto like that, but it has to be done. But around the time Naruto does the training exams, the Leaf would basically have to rebuild, and so will. And then eventually, Obito sees the Renegons and decides to take him. But as it's happening, before he could take him, Tsunade would take them before he can, and try to fight Obito. Obito, knowing that he would lose, and Sasuke seeing Itachi would and to tell everybody to retreat for now. They're outnumbered and outclassed, and they would all disappear until the next time they encounter. Around the time they will finally do some DNA and some mysteries, and they'll finally find out about the Renegon's true abilities. They learn every single last ability from the sorry guys for that. I had to get past this intro, but before this all happens, Naruto is training one day until he gets an alert that his Omnitrix is back in tip-top shape and he can come get it whenever he wants. Naruto comes back faster than he ever has. Grabbed the Omnitrix, and his red marks from the Omnitrix being on his hand for so long, and he will look at the Omnitrix. Noticing that he's literally addicted to the Omnitrix, Naruto will take it and then put it in his drawer and doesn't touch it until he's about to leave until the battle with Sasuke. He will regret leaving his Omnitrix at home. Naruto being at a big disadvantage because he relies too much on the Omnitrix. He will lose badly, but not as bad. He wouldn't lose. He'll lose a little badly. He would almost be on the verge of death until Kakashi comes and rescues him. Everything would be happening. Naruto would leave with Jiraiya. Before he leaves, he takes the Omnitrix with him just in case. And he leaves. The tail beasts will eventually get reborn, and then they'll eventually get tracked down and split up between the villages once again. A would be super sad that that Killer Bee is dead, but he would decide to make a 5 Kage summit and ask the Leaf what really happened. Konoha's village was destroyed, and basically they're still rebuilding, but Yamato rebuilds almost every last inch of Konoha because using his wood release. But nobody noticed that. Everybody notices that their buildings are getting rebuilt, but the buildings are coming by. Like, more and more buildings get built every single day. Eventually, the Atsutsuki King would get off his throne for 1,000 years and walk outside to talk to his fellow Atsutsuki members. Here's the following speech. My fellow Atsutsukis, we are going to be in a war. High-ranking, low-ranking, I don't care what you are. We are going to have a war against all of the planet Earth. If we can't destroy Earth ourselves, then we will have to. If we can't destroy Earth with one person only, we will have to send the whole crew, and we also have to find out what the mystery of what happened to Kaguya. She was probably slain by this Naruto kid. This Naruto kid is one of a kind. A Tatsuki King would look at this person and kills him with no thoughts. He would say, once again, that we are having a war against Earth. Tell all the elite Akatsuki members to come home to the home planet and train for 25 years straight, non-stop. I don't care how powerful you are. We will send a few low-ranking to get the fruit of the divine tree, and if they defy us, send a high-ranking back at them. Now, the invasion, the 25-year plan has begun. And that will be the end of What If Naruto Had the Omnitrix Part 2. And Part 3 will be coming out pretty soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.